I need to move this. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, 2 people are coming in. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, okay? With a thumbs up. Okay, hold on. We got 6 minutes. Facebook. I think I did this wrong. Let's see. Any thumbs up? Can you hear me, guys? I need my clicker. Anybody? Can you hear me? Test, test, test. Let's see. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear. Yay! Lots of thumbs up. Okay, good. Yay! All right. Good, good, good. Just a few more minutes, everybody. I will start this early, too, although I didn't edit last time. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. So. Okay. Did I do it? Okay. Hold on. Can you see? Hold on. Maybe right here. I think that's good. Okay, so we're going to start live video on Facebook. YouTube's up and going. All right. I think Facebook is too. So we've got a few minutes. Welcome, welcome. My throat is really dry today, so I might be taking sips of water. I know, while we're waiting for a few minutes, why don't I read? Let's take a minute to just kind of get grounded in this moment, right? We can use this moment to just mindfully enter this space. And so I'll just read. So wherever you are, I invite you just to get really present. You know, just notice where you are. Notice the ground supporting your feet. Notice your breath, your in-breath and your out-breath. And while we're waiting these few minutes, I'll read a couple of verses of the Tao. And what you want to do is listen deeply. You know, listen deeply. And just allow the truth that is written on your heart to speak to you as I read. And this isn't what we're doing today. Well, I mean, obviously it is what we're doing today. we're doing it right now. So, but this is just, you know, while we're waiting for these few minutes. Okay, so this is verse 2 of the Tao. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore, the master, remember the master is you, the master is me. Therefore, the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and she lets them come. Things disappear and she lets them go. She has, but doesn't possess, acts, but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it. That is why It lasts forever. Breathing. I think we still have another minute. Do I have time for another verse? You guys know I love it. Is it, what time is that? Sorry, everybody. 9:59. Okay, so just one more minute. That was great, though, right? I love it when I can work the Dow in, y'all. Makes me so happy. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. I really, really, really can't wait until you're in this room with me. And it's going to be soon. There will be a moment where we look back and say, remember that time where we couldn't be in the building together? And it will be past. It will be behind us. So we took a moment already to get centered, but for those of you just entering, let's just all take a collective breath together, in through our nose and out. You can close your eyes or you can keep those eyes open. Just a pause to enter fully into this moment, to allow our Christ nature, to allow the love that we are and the wisdom that we are to rise up and inform our thoughts. This time is full of purpose. You are here on purpose. I am here on purpose. This moment is powerful. God is here. Let us begin. So today, we're talking about leaving an empty chair. And I feel very inspired to share these things with you today. However, life forgot to tell me which order to do them in. So we'll see what happens, right? I'm going to start this way. I have shared with you guys that growing up, my father was very ill, both mentally and physically. And so I don't think that I've shared specifics with you. And I want to share one specific with you today, and that's on purpose. So at first, I ask you to give me grace because this is a difficult thing for me to do, for me to share. I asked my dad literally yesterday over and over again, why would I share this story? But I know it's purposeful, so I will. So there were many, many, many occasions growing up where my father suddenly became ill enough to need an ambulance, ill enough to go to the hospital. And it was very frequent. And he had a wish to die at home, right? And so in my house, death always had a seat at the table. Death was in every room. It was a presence and a constant. And it is that presence, the presence of death, is what began my questioning of life and the meaning of life and who was I. And so I'm very, very grateful for its presence now. However, growing up, it felt very, very scary. So on one of the occasions when my father was taken by, he was taken by ambulance this time. So I was 14 years old. And it was Easter, and I was at home. My father was Catholic, and he and my mother drove. He could no longer drive at this point. And my mother took him to a Catholic mass, on Easter Eve. And I was at home. My sister was at home, and we had two friends with us. And suddenly there were lights in the car. This is really hard. And I don't know why I'm sharing it, but okay, I'm doing it. Okay. So there were headlights that came through the window, and I look out the window and I see that my mother has driven up on the grass in our front yard. And she gets out of the car and she says, help, help. And the two friends that were there with my sister and I run out. They were male friends. They run out, and my father is shaking. And she said, please get him out of the car. Please get him out of the car. And so our friends took Dad, and they carried him inside and laid him down on the ground. And my father was shaking. He was having what I would find out later was a grand mal seizure. So it was lasting longer and longer. And my mother got down on the ground, and she held him in her arms, and she began singing hymns to him. And thankfully, I eventually grabbed our phone and ran to my room and called 911, although that was not what my mother or my father wished for me to do. Well, it was my father's wish, and my mother was just honoring it. But I couldn't take it, and so I called 911. It was the one and only time in my life where I've called 911. I actually have a phobia of it, and I think it stems back to that day. I tell you this story because my father did not die that night. But I tell you this story because that presence of death, I didn't welcome it at the time. But what I have come to understand and see now is that if we will make friends, remember last week we were talking about the fact that this virus, we're wearing masks every time we go out. We see death tolls every day on the news. Last year at this time, we couldn't even fathom such a thing, right? And so constantly we are faced with our mortality right now. And I think that it is filled with great purpose. I think that if we can invite death in to pull up a chair, if we can sit down with death and say, what are you here to teach me, show me, teach me? I was doing this yesterday, and I'll show you one of the practices that I have when I can feel that there is something that I'm on the edge of some new awareness, right? When I feel that, often what I will do, I got this practice from my beautiful friend, Mary, who is an artist and a mindfulness teacher, but she does mandalas. And so I will sit and do mandalas, and this is mine from yesterday. I just want to show you what I did. I could sense that death had some things to tell me. And so I did this. I sat with the mandala and I just colored. And I allowed my mind to open to whatever was trying to come through. I believe that this is a moment, and we did this last week, didn't we? We opened up to it and we allowed death to be, right? We opened up to the mystery of it. And I believe that this practice is something that we need to continually do right now. It's one of the invitations from this virus, from this current situation. Now, so death, we let death pull up a chair, but there's also other things that can go in this chair. The Course in Miracles says, if you knew who walked beside you, you would never be afraid. There was a practice, and I shared this earlier in the week with someone, and I can't remember if I got it from the Course text itself or the workbook, or if it was Marianne Williamson and something that she taught in one of her seminars. But I remember there's a practice where when you are feeling alone, right? When you're feeling alone, you can have an empty chair, sit down, take a breath, hold out your hand, and ask for your hand to be taken. And you can fill in the blank. It could be Jesus. It could be a dead loved one. It could be angels. But you will feel in your hand the weight and the pressure change. And I always bristle when I talk about this kind of stuff because I don't want to be seen as woo-woo. That's not what this is. The reality is that energy cannot be created. It cannot be destroyed. It only changes form, right? In her book, Anita Morjani says this so beautiful, Dying to Be Me, in her near-death experience. She talks about how when she had her physical death, at that moment, she could feel the presence of her father, of a dead friend. She could feel not only their presence, but that she was one with them, but felt the energy of them, right? If we will open ourselves to these experiences, and I do with my dad all the time. Yesterday, I talked to him all day long because we were arguing about sharing that story. And I still don't really know why I did it. I just want to, for the record, Dad. So what I want to say to you is that we are not alone. And if we'll embrace this concept of pulling up an empty chair, there is such value. There is such support here for us right now. I can feel that there is, non-physical energy, presence, God, angels, whatever word you use to describe it. We are being cheered on in this moment. This is a moment of such huge shift for all of the human race. And they are cheering us on, and they want to help. And if we will call on them, hey, guess who else we could invite to sit in this chair? Bill? Grace. We can invite Grace to sit in this chair. We can invite God to sit in this chair. My mother, is very fundamental in her beliefs, but her faith is absolutely beautiful. And anytime I have struggle and I tell my mother about it, she will say, call on Jesus. Call on Jesus. And I will say that whoever it is that you call on, whether it's Grace, or God, or a dead loved one, you can feel supported in any moment. In your deepest, darkest hour, you can feel real love and support. I wanted to share this too. So remember we were talking about Zim-Zum a couple weeks ago? I told you, Dad, I was going to fit it in either way. So Zim-Zum is a term used in ancient Hebrew to talk about or to point to metaphysically the creation of the universe, right? So here's Zim-Zum, right? Just a refresher for everybody. So in the beginning, there was God and God alone, right? And so in order for something other to exist, something other than God, God had to retract and allow an empty space to rise up so that something other could be born. And remember, this is metaphysical. This isn't, it's metaphor. Okay, so what we talked about was Zim-Zum, and what I learned from Rob and Kristen Bell in the Zim-Zum of love is that each relationship that we have, each close relationship and bond that we have, there is an energy, there is a space in between us. And in that energetic space are everything that I think about you, everything you think about me, everything I think about myself, everything you think about yourself, there is in this energy is constantly flowing, right? And in quantum physics, we would call this quantum entanglement, right? So when two subatomic particles are bonded and then separated, they demonstrate an awareness of each other. You move one over here, it moves over here. So the reality is that every loved one you have, whether they are here in body anymore or not, there is Zim-Zum going on. Right? There is Zim-Zum going on with these people. So Dad and I, we had Zim-Zum going on yesterday. We have Zim-Zum going on all the time. But this is why forgiveness becomes really, really important. And this is why forgiveness doesn't end, the need to forgive doesn't end when someone dies their physical death, when they pass away. Because that bond, that energetic bond is still there. And so I did much of my forgiveness work with my father while he was here in body, but some of it didn't happen until afterwards. And what I can say to you is that everything you think about someone, whether they are alive or not, there is an energy between you, and that energy is creating your experience of your life. So any unforgiveness that is in you, any unforgiving thought that you have about another human being, whether they are alive or not, is affecting the amount of grace, the amount of joy, the amount of peace that you can have here and now in this physical body, right? So Zimzum, right? Whoever's here, whoever we have bonded with here, we can invite into the chair. I know there was a great forgiveness practice. Oh, I'm just remembering this. Oh, there's a great forgiveness practice. So if there is someone that it is not possible for you to actually come together and ask for forgiveness or grant them forgiveness, you can invite them into the chair, because the larger part of us is not this body, right? The truth of us is beyond this body. We do not need the body to be here in order to have a dialogue with our brothers and our sisters, with the Christ nature. I think it was Elizabeth Gilbert, now that I'm thinking about it. Yes, when she was in the ashram in India. So you can invite someone, and there's someone that is still here on this planet who I know is my teacher and is here to teach me about love and forgiveness. And this person is a challenging person in my experience. And I have absolutely invited this person to the chair, right? I hope that I am conveying to you that this practice is real. When I say invite, pull up an empty chair, I mean it. Make space. Have an actual empty chair, right? I was, yesterday I was listening to an interview with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and she said something that I find to be so, so true. If you are open to mystical experiences, to the experience of God, if you are open to them, you will absolutely experience them. The only thing that blocks us from the absolute miracle that is this energetic exchange, the miracle that is our experience of God, and it is mystical, it is mysterious. The only thing that blocks us from that is our unwillingness to have the experience. Can you feel that? If you want to have an experience of God, ask you, am I willing to experience God? I can hear it. I can hear you all going, yes, yes, yes. That's it. That willingness. Pull up an empty chair. Get out your journal. Start doing some mandalas. Just be here, present in this space. And allow the beautiful mystery to unfold. So right now, invite into the chair. What we're talking about is inviting death into the chair, because it's here. It's here. Invite it into the chair. Let's not be afraid of it. Here's what happened earlier in the week. I talk to you guys about this all the time, but I get these breadcrumb trails about what, the talk will be about. And the first little hint was, and I think it was Monday, and I was filling in a date for something. And instead of putting 2020, I put 3020. And in the moment I did it, then the moment I put 3020, I had this stark jolt of, I will not exist. This was the thought. I will not exist in 3020. That was the jolt, right? I will not exist in 3020. And then I recognized, oh, that's fear. And I'm going to open up to that. I'm going to open to that. I'm going to be, allow myself to be human and recognize that there is always work to be done. There's always fear to be put down around our physical death, right? The great mystery that is our physical death. So 3020, did I tell you everything? I couldn't remember. Okay, oh, yes, this is what I wanted to share too. Okay, so I got 2 poems. I know, today's a little disjointed, everybody, but can you feel it? Can you feel that this is really on purpose? Okay, I got 2 poems. One you probably definitely heard of, but I love it. Okay, so just see if you can just relax wherever you are. Take a breath Maybe close your eyes or relax your gaze and just allow this moment. So the first one is by Mary Fry, and it's "Do not stand at my grave and weep. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die." So beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, the next one is Henry Scott Holland. This is by Henry Scott Holland, and it is "Death is nothing at all. Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away into the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the same easy way which you always did. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effect, without the shadow of a ghost on it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolutely unbroken continuity. Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am just waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well. Right? All is well. I love it. So this reminds me, this is a good time to remind you guys that we are going to have our angel tree ceremony. In your email blast, we say the exact date. I think it's December 6th, but I'm not positive. And of course, this year we won't be here in body together. So we are working on a way to have a virtual angel tree. Remember last year, we invited everyone to put the name of any loved one who had passed away. And then we hung them on the tree. It was such a beautiful, powerful thing. And what a great reminder to remind us that they are still here. They are not gone. They are with us. And so we honor them in this way. And so we're going to have our angel tree ceremony. It'll be a beautiful way to honor those who we are still zim-zumming with, right? Those who we are still zim-zumming with. Okay, so let's just, we kind of did our prayer via that poem, but let's just take a moment and we'll just pause, another pause. I am willing to pull up an empty chair, to allow whatever inspiration or wisdom that is trying to come through to me to come. I open up to the experience of God. I open up to the experience of me beyond this body. It is my intention to experience truth with a capital T. In any moment where I feel alone, it is my intention to hold out my hand and invite in support. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of support. And it is here for me in this moment and in every moment. One more breath. And so it is. And so it is, everybody. Okay, the daily word today, perfect for today, is forgiveness. Oh, forgive. Sorry, that's forgive. Okay. In the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. If I hold on to feelings of hurt, betrayal, or anger in response to another person's words or actions, I block the flow of divine love and peace in my life. Likewise, holding on to guilt, shame, or embarrassment that may arise when I have hurt another person also keeps me from experiencing divine love and peace. Forgiveness removes all barriers, all obstacles, anything that may be disrupting my experience of the divine presence. In order to forgive myself or another person, I need not justify or approve behavior that is unwelcome. I need only to become willing to forgive. In the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. I feel the healing power of divine love as it dissolves all barriers, all illusion of separation. I forgive and I am healed. And then Matthew 6:12, and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. All right, let's do our vision together. A world powerfully transformed through shared spiritual awakening. And our mission, advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. And our values, abundance, acceptance, community, diversity, integrity, joy, and love. And we celebrate our children. Unity of Appleton sees the divinity in all children and nurtures their unfolding spirituality. Let's have our moment of gratitude. And I want to share something that we are all very grateful for, which is this community. And I don't know if you all saw the email blast. I think it did get routed to promotions folder. So if you didn't see it, check promotions folder. Nicole also posted it on members only. But I have amazing news, and that is that we brought in, through our community, over $9,000 during our fundraiser. And our two generous donors matched that. So our fundraiser total was over $18,000. So thank you, thank you, thank you. What an amazing success this was. I am so grateful for all of you who gave. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This community we are abundant, right? And so let's just take this moment to tap into our gratitude. And I invite you, if you're inspired to just bring to mind this community and the parts of it that you feel thankful for. I feel so, so grateful for our Zoom conversations that we've been having after the live. It has been, one understanding upon another understanding, and it has been just such a beautiful moment of community, and I am grateful for that. And I invite you to bring to mind something for which you are thankful. Smile. Breathe. Say, thank you. Thank you. We've tapped into that energy of gratitude, ensuring that we are drawing to us even more things for which we will be grateful. Okay, so let's do our affirmation of prosperity, and we can definitely affirm our prosperity. Unity of Appleton is alive with the energy of spirit and the flow of divine abundance and radiant with unlimited possibilities. And then our celebration of giving and receiving divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I joyfully give and willingly receive. I give in love and I trust God as my source. Okay, so before we do the prayer protection, remember, community Zoom afterwards. The link is in members only. If you are not a member of our community and you would like to participate in our community Zoom, send us a message. And I needed to tell you one more thing. There's one more announcement, and I'm forgetting it. Oh, next week, everybody, I am taking Sunday off. I'm taking the weekend off. And so we are going to have a community Zoom. Bill and Lori will be leading that community Zoom. There is a link. It is the same link that we use for the chat each week, but it is in your email blast. So check it out. It'll be next Sunday at 10 a.m. You'll go to Zoom instead of the live, okay? All right, let's do our prayer of protection, and then we'll meet in just a few minutes at on our Zoom, right? We'll start officially at 10:40, but you can scoot on over as soon as we're done if you want to. Okay. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Okay, I'll see you guys in a minute on the Zoom. See you in a minute. See you in a minute, everybody. See you in a minute, everybody. End.